Good morning. Today's pose is called Virasana or Hero's Pose. It is a fun pose to do. This one focuses on knees rather than hips. So far we've been doing the wide leg forward fold and the seated bound angle, and those were hip openers. In this case, we're actually working on our knees, knee joint flexibility and strength. So it's a little bit trickier than the other two, and you do need to use some caution. I'll show you a trick to use to ensure the safety of the pose. Now, to get into it, you're going to want to come up onto your knees. This is the easiest way to do it. Come up onto your knees, and then with your feet flat, the tops of your feet flat to the floor, you simply lower down very gently. Now here's the thing to watch for. You're going to bring your knees together, and then you lower between your feet. The feet are actually outside of your thigh. You're not sitting on your feet. They're outside of your thigh. That's where it's tricky, because the knee joint for most people is very stiff. It's not flexible. It's not mobile. So this one is wonderful if you have issues with knee pain or scar tissue on your knees. Personally, I fall into that category. This one will really help the flexibility of your knees. If you cannot get your sits bones square to the floor, flat to the floor, then just use a block, or a book will work as well. Take the block, put it underneath your seat, and it'll raise you up enough to allow for your knees to stay together and your feet to be flat on the floor. Over time, the knees will get more flexible and more mobile, and you'll be able to remove your block. Until then, just do whatever you need to. If you want to go by degrees, lowering from a thick block to a thinner book, etc., that's entirely okay. Remember, we're not worrying about getting this immediately. This is a process. It's strengthening and stretching, so it's definitely a process. To come out of it, you do need to be careful. So you're going to want to plant your hands forward, put some of your weight in your hands, and then come up. Bring your feet together, your toes touching. Rest for a moment in this seated position, and then bring your hands behind you and just bring your feet out from underneath. Now that your feet are in staff pose, your legs are in staff pose, you can simply rock your legs. Just allow the feet, the knees, the legs, everything to release a little bit. I know when I first began doing this pose, my feet would often fall asleep on me. So being able to just jiggle them a little bit really feels good. Take your time on Hero's Pose. It is a very helpful pose, but it's not necessarily easy. So keep trying every day, practice for a little while, and you will notice that your knees hurt or sore much less often if you do this pose. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.